What's up, freaks? This is just me, and today we're gonna be exploring the best physique of William Bonac's bodybuilding career up to the year 2021, because I haven't learned to predict the future yet. Okay, the Conqueror, William Bonac, has been a professional open class bodybuilder since 2013. Prior to that, I believe that for a brief period there he actually competed in the 212 division, but for the most part, by far, he's an open guy and he still competes in this class nowadays in the 2020s. In this video, I'm gonna be mentioning the years 2015 till 2020. Up to 2015, he was making a lot of improvements, but after that, William Bonac is a very consistent bodybuilder, and his best shape basically depends on how he comes into a certain show. So, let's introduce a couple of honorable mentions. On the left is the 2016 Olympia, which really impressed me because it was really solid. A bit smaller, surely, but insanely well conditioned and somehow full at the same time. A crazy good version, if you ask me. Just look how amazing it looks. Okay, and then let me add one more version similar to this one, in my opinion, which I couldn't really fit on the screen, so it's not the one next to 2016 Olympia. I'm talking about the 2015 Prague Pro version, which also really impressed me when I saw it because William looked really good in the poses, very round but also peeled. So, let's move on though. The version in the middle is the 2018 Arnold Classic Australia. Here, William looked very solid overall too, and did a great job balancing out his conditioning and fullness, and he had more muscle maturity. Okay, the additional version to this one, which is not on the screen, would be the 2018 Olympia, which was not the sharpest William Bonac, but this package still looked good enough for me to mention it. And the last version we see on the screen, that's the 2019 Arnold Classic Ohio, in which Williams' waist looked quite blocky, but his wheels looked pretty exceptional as I see it. So they balanced that one flaw out. And the addition to 2019 Arnold is gonna be the 2020 Arnold. The 2020 Arnold, for a change, has a smaller set of quads, but the tighter midsection and a lot of polish and sharpness. Okay, a brief look at the side chest pose of these honorable mentions. I love the 2016 Olympia on the left, very round and aesthetic, but the 2018 Arnold Australia in the middle probably looks even better. Look at the great muscle bellies on the guy and the exceptional polish. And 2019 Arnold on the right looks quite flat in my eyes, but still great. And here is the rear double. Look at the 2016 Olympia, the peaky biceps, insane detail through the whole back, the alien-esque glutes and thick lower body. Super complete. I can't praise this physique enough. And I like the 19 Arnold Classic too, with all that separated muscle on the right of the screen. Okay, and the last pose for the honorable mentions is this incredible hands clasped most muscular. I absolutely love 2016 and 2018 here. Look how insanely round Williams' delts and arms look. And his chest and legs look great as well, especially in 2016. But there was a very long preamble, so let's get into the main comparison for the best William Bonac ever, in my opinion. On the left sits the 2017 Olympia. Here, in this version, he wasn't flat at all, but he was dry and peeled. Had a decent midsection and looked very defined and probably more aesthetic than ever. That's why he got third at the Olympia that year, which was a great result. But in the middle is the 2018 Arnold Classic Columbus, Ohio version, which William won. He had great conditioning, but also fullness and size, which was probably superior to any other version. And don't forget, on the right is the 2019 Arnold Classic Australia, another winning version. And the same I was saying about the two previous versions can 100% be said about this one as well. Complete and diced to the bone. So let's judge the front double biceps. I give third place to the middle version of the Conqueror here, the 2018 Arnold. It doesn't look bad, but the midsection looks the least pleasing and the V-taper is not as apparent. Also, as I see it from this pose, is the least peeled overall. In second place is the 2019 Arnold Australia. On the right, its outline looks pretty good and the conditioning factor gets more than a nod, but I would place 2017 ahead because of the more symmetrical and more impressive biceps development of that version, so 2017 gets the first 1 pointer. And heading into the front lat spread, the third place is between 2017 and 2018 in my eyes. And even though 2018 might look more aesthetic, it's too narrow and scrunched. The 2017 Conqueror doesn't have a particularly outstanding front lat spread either, but he looks wider in the clavicles due to better execution, in my opinion, which needs to be rewarded, so 2017 gets 2 points over 2018. However, 2019 wins easily, I would say. Is the only one actually executing the pose properly, in my reckoning, and it looks decent. The lower body presents the best too, so 2019 gets 1 point here. And here is the side chest pose. The 2018 Arnold version looks slightly flattened in the pecs, regardless of the different lighting and tanning. Is the least sliced and diced overall. You can notice that in the quad or biceps, so I have to put it in last place. And second place would go to 2017 here. I know the angle of 2017 is a bit different than of the 2019 Arnold Australia, but regardless of that, these two look virtually the same, with the difference maker being the slightly bigger size of 2019, and also the near arm looks quite a bit sharper. That's why 2019 gets the 1 point in this pose, but it's very close between these two. Turning to the back, we got the rear double biceps. And sorry, but 2018 is gonna get the short end of the stick again. I believe it has to be last. It looks absolutely great, don't get me wrong, but what really draws my eye is the lower back, which looks by far the least detailed out of these versions. The lats also look to be the least impressive in both thickness and width. He looks a bit too bottom heavy. And between 2017 and 2019 Australian Arnold Classic for the win, it's really close, neck and neck. I could see a lot of people giving the pose to 2019, but for me 2017 wins on account of the more beastly lower body and overall flow, even though 2019 is probably wider. But to be honest, on the second thought, this pose could really go either way. It's very close. And God, the same can be said for the rear lat spread between these two. I think 2018 Arnold unfortunately has to get last again, even though once again it ain't looking bad. But it looks the most narrow, and the traps, for instance, look less prominent. I think it's due to worse execution. The pose just plain doesn't look dominating. But if we take a look at the Olympia 2017 and the Arnold Australia 2019, I think they look very similar to each other. But 2017 is more peeled and horse-like downstairs, and the lats look a bit larger to me. It's puzzling why they look larger, but in my opinion they do. Look how bulbous and round they are. So I'm giving 2017 the edge against 2019, and 1 point goes to 2017. Just one aspect I would like to point out, look at the depth of the lower lats. These are one of the lowest insertions I've ever seen. But go to the side triceps pose, and I don't think the 2019 William the Conqueror is doing himself any justice by doing this execution of the pose. It makes his midsection look fuller and less sucked in, although the waist from the side still looks really good. I agree, his far back looks great with those striations, and the tricep horseshoe is crisp, but I don't think he nailed the pose, and I don't like to reward the midsection that looks easily the worst out of these three poses. So 3 points go to Arnold Classic Australia of 2019. Second place goes to 2017 O. The chest looks much bigger and fuller than the chest of 2018, but 2018 looks much more impressive through the arm. Look at the biceps, it's sharper, it's freakier. So 2 points to 2017 and 1 point to 2018 in this pose, which wins its first pose. And in the ab and thigh though, we have 2018 last again. I know the quality of the photo is a bit lower and I apologize for that, but look at the quad. It doesn't have as much feathering as the other versions either way. And the abs look completely washed out, unfortunately, and the waistline looks a bit bulky. So 2018 gets 3 points. Then I have 2017. It looks more streamlined and cut than 2018, but not as streamlined and cut as 2019. That's why 2019 gets the nod as the winner in this pose. It actually looks more than decent, but it's pretty close between 17 and 19. Okay guys, and the last pose for today, the most muscular. I chose the crab variation this time so we can have something a bit different. Now, at this point, you're probably tired of hearing this, but 2018 Arnold Classic is last in this pose too. It's the least strided and vascular, and even though the delts, for instance, look bigger than the other versions, the chest appears to be not on par striation-wise. And in second, I'm gonna go with 2019 Arnold Australia, which is hitting the pose a little different or in a different stage of the execution. Nevertheless, you can notice more veins and strided muscle, and I think overall 2019 looks more impressive and has more wow factor than 2018. But for me, 2017 wins. Just round, separated muscle, veiny, strided details everywhere on the physique, and it looks the most freaky, so one final point for 2017 Olympia. So, let me tally up the points now and go through the results. We have a clear third place in 2018 Arnold Classic. It won one pose and got 22 points, which is quite a lot. I don't think it was bad at all. It's a great version, conditioned, defined, but the least conditioned and defined out of our exclusive top 3 versions. The Conqueror also had an execution to certain poses, such as the lat spreads, that in my opinion wasn't flattering his physique, so he kind of shot himself into the foot there, I guess. But either way, this version gave the others a good run for their money, even though it kept placing last. And in runner-up, we have with 14 points and 3 wins in the mandatory poses, the 2019 Arnold Classic Australia. Wow, that's maybe a bit unexpected. I don't know about you guys, but beforehand, I probably expected this version to win. And I understand 100% if you yourself prefer this version over 2017. I don't think any of these is objectively plain better. I think it's more of a matter of personal preference. You cannot go wrong with either of these, but both are top-notch bodybuilding packages, no doubt. And they're essentially tied in my book. That being said, the scorecard has the 2017 Olympia edging out the victory with 12 points and 4 poses, which is really impressive. I personally like 2017 a tad bit better because it has greater aesthetic appeal, in my opinion, but you could argue 2019 was a bit bigger. with very close to, if not the same conditioning. It's true, throughout the video I was giving a lot of small edges to 2017 over 2019, where it could have easily gone to 2019. So I guess 2017 gets the victory in this video because it has less points, but there were a lot of close calls, so there could be a case made for 2019, as I already said. Both are absolutely awesome. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Which William is the best, which is your favorite, and also tell me what you think about this video and my commentary on this world-class bodybuilding physique. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch some William Bonac videos and also like and subscribe. Enjoy the rest of your day.